I know what you're thinking. How is it even possible to make millions exploring in a galactic doorstop? Well, I'll show you. Greetings Commanders, I am Kree. I'm an Elite Dangerous YouTuber and streamer. Speaking of, catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Kree. I'm live from 1 PM Thursdays to Saturdays, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Today's video will show you how making millions in an exploration sidewinder is definitely possible and easy to boot. I'll also be sharing a bonus tip at the end, so keep your eyes open for that. First off, the all-important build. My build, I have allowed for 500,000 credits. This is mostly obviously to afford the modules, but also to have extra rebuys just in case you are a new commander. So mistakes will be made. Allowing yourself some extra rebuy credits is definitely smart. I earned these credits very easily by stacking data delivery missions, because with the Sidewinder there's not really much storage capacity, so the data missions you can stack infinitely. So going into outfitting, I have selected to have no hide points as they're dead weight, because you'll have no cargo to be ganked for. So if you do get interdicted while exploring, just let them drop you out or submit from being in Super Cruise, and then they'll see that you have nothing and move on. Now with utility mounts, I don't have any, but you can get heat sinks, which can be helpful when you are new, because when you are fuel scooping, for example, you can overheat, which causes you to explode. So they are an option to have while you're out in the black. One thing to keep in mind though is they do add weight, so you can have one or two or none, up to you. I've kept a lightweight alloy simply because it is lightweight. With power plant, I've put that as a D-rated module. Not likely going to be needing any higher than this because the build doesn't require a lot of power. For the thrusters, I have made that a D-rated module as well, purely because the weight that gets added from the higher rating modules. But unless you plan on landing in higher gravity worlds, then D thrusters should suffice. Now for my FSD, I've gone with A because 1, I could afford it, and 2, it does give you the longest jump range. But if you can't afford it, then you just go with what you can afford. Life support, I have put to D. It's pretty standard, and you're not likely going to need a higher rating module than that. Power distributor, I've gone with D again here. I'm sure you can see a trend here. The reason for going with D-rated modules is because they are generally the lightest available. And the lighter your ship is, the further that you can jump, depending on the FSD. Sensors, I have gone with D. Once again, this is because it is the lightest available. Fuel tank is C. This is the default for all ships. It just depends on the class of the ship. For this one is a class of 2 for the fuel tank. Fuel scoop, I've gone with A. I've gone with the highest rated module here, so you can refuel off stars, reducing the need to go to stations, which means that you can go further out in the black. One thing to keep in mind though is that there are fuelable and non-fuelable stars, but there is a way to ensure that you don't get stuck. I'll touch on that later. Now I've added a planetary vehicle hangar G and an SRV. I got these simply so you can explore planet side. Plus, while exploring these biological, geological, Thargoid and Guardian areas, you can pick up materials that can be helpful refueling and repairing your SRV, and also materials needed for Guardian blueprints and engineering modules. Now a surface scanner, aka the DSS or Detailed Surface Scanner, this is a must so we can get very valuable data from scanning Earth-like worlds, water worlds, ammonia worlds, and terraformable worlds. I'll show you how to find these shortly. You can add a Super Cruise Assist and advanced docking computers if you wish. It's totally fine because you have the room and they don't add any extra weight. Plus it does help considering that with this build there are no shields, which means that you are less protected if you were to try and land on your own at a station, but with enough practice, it's pretty easy to land without shields. Next, I'm going to show you how to find fuelable stars and those valuable bodies. But first, I'd like to say, if this build has helped you so far, consider subscribing. It's free and it'll help me out a lot. Anyway, back to it. First things first, we want to be able to get to these valuable worlds, so I'll explain how to make sure you will be able to stay fueled up without needing a pit stop at a station. It's in your filters in the galaxy map. Now if you open up your galaxy map, click on the fourth tab that looks like 5 stars, go down where it says map, and select star class. And select the star classes from O type to M type, and ensure you also click the apply to route box at the bottom. Keep in mind that while you scoop from a star, you can overheat and explode. Keep an eye on your temperature on the left side of your radar. Another thing that is handy is heat sinks that I've mentioned before. Just in case you're getting too hot, you can launch one of those using the default key V. Now for finding where these valuable planets are is now easier with this helpful site, www.edsm.net, which I'll link down in the description below, and I'll show you how to use the site. So once you're on the site, you'll just need to go over to Celestial Bodies, and then from there you'll see there is a tab on the left hand side that says stars. So click on that and then select planets, and then the drop down box to the right of that, just click on that and then select the body type that you like. So obviously Earth-like worlds, then there is water worlds and ammonia worlds. There's also a guide you can use to see for yourself which astral body is worth scanning and how much you'll receive for handing in the scan data of these bodies, which is here. I'll also be linking this in the description below. There is another way to find terraformable worlds. If you feel like using a site is too cheaty, you can once again use the filter in your galaxy map. This time selecting economy instead of star class, and then selecting terraforming in the selection below, making sure that you untick all the other types that you are not interested in finding. Now, as a bonus tip, I'm going to show you how to use the external cameras to take those sweet screenshots. So one thing that you should do is that you will notice that if you go through your controls, it's a bit different for yourself. But for me, I use the T-Flight HOTAS 1, so it's a combination of keys, and then you can use either your joystick or mouse depending on how you have yours set up to move the camera around, and you can also toggle between controlling your ship and controlling the camera, just in case you wanted to get some action shots. You can zoom in and you can zoom out. You can tilt the camera however you want. When you're in Super Cruise, the distance that the camera can be away from you is significantly larger than when you are landed on a planet or in a station. The maximum distance is 250 meters, which is pretty good. You're able to get some amazing shots. If you want to check out some of the screenshots that I and my community have taken, then join the Discord. I'll put a link down below and come check it out. Now, using this build and the tips that we've talked about is sure to make you millions quickly, and even afford a new exploration ship like the Asp Explorer. Let me know in the comments below how you went, and if you get an Asp Explorer, check out my Asp build. See you there. Fly safe, Commander.